Guys, it's been over 24 hours since Barcelona completely crapped the bed against Sevilla in that absolute shit show of a performance yesterday. And honestly, guys, right, I really had to take time, right? I had to take time to really calm myself and then go back and see what went wrong, right? And there's a lot of things that went wrong in yesterday's game, but I don't have a lot of time to talk about it. There is something from me I feel like needs attention, and this goes straight to the manager, Hansi Flick. Hansi Flick, you came to the club last season at a point where, as fans, we were at our lowest. Xavi had just left. We barely signed anyone. We just went through a trophyless season and watched our greatest rivals win a double. The bar was very low. Many of us didn't have any hope coming into the 24-25 season. And after everything, with all the problems you had to deal with, having only one signing, having half of your team injured during the first half of the season, you still managed to work it out. You found your system, and you brought the best out of some of the players who, before you came in, were looking like they were at the door. Players like Rafinha. You did such an amazing job. You brought a new system, a new philosophy, a beautiful attacking football with crazy amounts of goals. It was beautiful to watch. But here's the thing. You've done a lot of good, but there was one thing that, for me, I don't know about any other Barca fan, but for me, I was actually worried seeing this last season. And now, all of a sudden, we are in the first few weeks of the season, and already my worries are becoming a reality. And what was my biggest worry, guys? It was the high-line football. Now I get it. Every single manager in the world, the best managers in the world, have their own styles and philosophy. Mourinho has the park the bus. Conte has the back three. Pep Guardiola has the tiki-taka. And Jurgen Klopp has the gegenpress. You play the gegenpress high-line football. And it's worked out for you. You won a treble with Bayern Munich. You won a domestic treble with Barcelona. It absolutely cooked. But even last season, during our run in the league and in the Champions League, there were certain moments during the season when we were getting exposed. The amount of times I was watching our back line so far away from the defense. Literally, the back line was all the way, the defensive line was all the way down in the midfield. And at first, it worked because teams were getting caught offside, left, right, and center. But you knew that it was the same style of play every single game against every single team. And the problem with playing the same philosophy and the same style is, eventually teams are going to figure out, especially if you keep playing the same way, no changes at all, teams are going to figure out that this is how you play and this is how we need to counter it. And I said this last season, I said, the biggest worry that I have with Flick is that I don't see that he has a plan B. I don't see a plan B in the way he plays football. And the problem with the style of play that he plays, you need a plan B. You need to have a plan for when you play against a team that is going through your high line, to have another plan to basically do better. I never saw it with Flick. And I said, if we don't have a plan B and teams in the league and the Champions League figure out how to play against this high line, we are screwed. We are screwed. Because don't get it twisted. With the way that defensive line is so high, and the fact that we don't have any pacey defenders, if we're playing strikers like Kylian Mbappe, Erling Haaland, it's just any pacey forward, we're cooked. We are absolutely cooked. And the biggest example I can use, honestly, right, it's not even yesterday's game against Sevilla. I want to take you all back to last season, when we played Celta de Vigo at the Montjuic Stadium, when we beat them 4-3. We were 3-1 down. Borja Iglesias had a hat-trick. If you guys didn't watch the game, please take your time and go back and watch the highlights. Take a look at how Celta Vigo scored all 3 goals. It's literally copy and paste. 3 goals. The same way. And I knew after that, I said, teams are slowly beginning to understand where the defensive line is and how they can beat the high line. Flick needs to get a plan B, and he needs to get it soon, or else he's going to get exposed next season. And after what I saw with PSG and what I saw yesterday, losing to Sevilla 4-1, and literally all their goals were basically the same way. They were cut offside, what, twice? 3 times throughout the game? Every single time they break through a high line, they were always onside. And the problem is, Flick continues to play the same way. And to really make it worse, listening to his press conference yesterday, saying that the system was not the problem. I'm sorry, the high line is literally suicide. The only one who doesn't see it, it's you. I get it. And I'm not even against the high attacking, high pressing football. I love the fact that we are very, very good at high pressing. I enjoy it. We score a lot of goals. We're always high attacking. But this is the problem. The problem is, as good as our attack is, there's other teams in Europe that have as good as attack as we do. And the problem with you trying to gamble, going attack for attack, is going to damage us when you are putting your defensive line so high. Look at PSG. PSG didn't have their defense that high. They were going forward, but they were very cautious in defense. And that combination is what got them to win. The problem is, when we play, we throw caution to the wind. You want to go all out attacking against an attacking team who have just as good as attack as you do, but they're actually good defensively. So who do you think has a higher chance of winning? This is not good enough, Flick. And I'm not Flick out. There's a lot of people who are not a big fan of this whole highlight thing, and they've had enough. Some people are getting angry. Some people are getting frustrated. I'm not in the point of frustration. I am not in a point where I'm Flick out. But I'm sending this message to you, Flick, because I'm sorry, but you need to be better. We as a club need to be better. You need to figure out a plan B. And for God's sake, stop gambling. The problem with gambling is this: you can either win or lose. And I'm not saying you shouldn't bet on yourself. But the problem is, you're risking costing us potentially not winning trophies this season, all because you only have one way of playing and you refuse to change that style. Especially considering you don't even have your best players in the squad right now. This is not good enough, Flick. You have to find a new plan. I'm not saying don't play the high attacking football, but for God's sake, can we please drop the defensive line? You have Araujo, Christensen, Kobashi, Eric Garcia, Gunde, and Gerard Martin, and Alejandro Balde. Out of those players I just mentioned, who are the fastest players on that list? It's probably Balde. Balde is probably the fastest player in that list I just mentioned. Everybody else is slow. What happens if we're playing in the Clasico and Kylian Mbappe goes past the defense? That's it. That's it. You might as well just put 1-0 in the scoreboard before he even takes the shot. This is not good enough, and yesterday's game should be a lesson to you. More than anybody else, it should be a lesson to you. If Sevilla, who have Isaac Moreno, who's an absolutely trash attacker, and with Vargas and then decrepit old Alexis Sanchez could literally expose our defense like that, what do you think that Kylian Mbappe, Vinicius Jr., Rodrigo, and Franco and Adagule are going to do to our team? Come on, Flick. We have to be better. Play your high line, play your attacking football, but for God's sake, drop the line. We don't have the defenders for your style of play. That is the truth. And until you change that, things are not going to change. We're going to continue to get exposed like this. Because I'm going to be very honest, this defeat against Sevilla, it was coming. It was coming. Our best away game since the start of the season was the opening game against Mallorca. We struggled against Levante. We struggled against Rayo. We struggled against Oviedo. And now we got battered by Sevilla. This defeat was coming. And we need to wake up. The international break is on its way. This is an opportunity for you, Flick. You need to look back at this previous month. Look at our away performances. Look at the defensive line. And please find a solution. Because if not, this is just going to be the beginning and we can't continue to deal with this. So please, Flick, do better. But let me know what you guys are saying in the comment section below. Make sure you guys smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and let me know what you guys are saying, guys. Big up to you guys. Peace. Take care.